Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Curry Parker. Welcome to this episode of the Quantum Human Design Podcast. I am super excited to have with us today Patty Swiatly, who is a Quantum Human Design Level 3 certified specialist. And we're going to be talking today about a topic that really gets people excited. And it's a topic that we don't talk about a lot in human design, but really, I think one of the most important topics we need to be looking at when it comes to learning how to drop into that due north compass of your intuition. So, Patty teaches people and coaches people on how to develop their intuition and how to use their intuition correctly, if you will, or in a confident, self-trusting kind of way, using your human design. So, Patty, I have to ask you a question. How did you lock on to learning about and connecting with your own intuition?
Sure. So I actually feel that I've always had intuition. I've been very intuitive since I was really young. But I feel like my intuition has a lot more to do with my connection with Source
Mhm.
and the universe or God, however you want to talk about it. There's just always this sense for me, and I don't know. It just kind of happened step by step where I found an astrology book on my mother's bookshelf when I was 12, and I
Mhm.
just was consumed with astrology. And then I learned things like tarot, and um, and then later on, I wanted to really connect more with spirit and my intuition on a much deeper level. So I started training with different coaches. I studied
Mhm.
with Doreen Virtue.
Me too.
I know, I know. I've studied with Sonia Choquette, and I've studied with some people in the UK, which I don't know. I just feel like the UK has, I don't, they just seem more open to this stuff.
Right, right.
And I studied Akashic Records and things like that. I feel like I like the scientific part of things, like the astrology and the cards, but there's still something about really connecting inward
Mhm.
and training to do that. And so it's really easy for me actually to connect with and connect with spirit
Mhm.
it just comes naturally to me. So
So,
yeah.
do you think that human design and how people are designed sometimes makes it easier for people to connect?
So can you ask that question again?
I said, do you feel like sometimes in human design or something in people's
Yeah,
unique charts with human design makes it easier for them to connect?
it does actually. I because it helps them to kind of understand how intuition comes through. So like using the clairs, like whether it's clairvoyantly, clairaudiently, clairsentiently, claircognizantly, all the other clairs. and I had a client that I was working with, and she was struggling with it, and we had a session on her chart, and she just was like, "Oh my god." And it just kind of opened up a whole ball game for her.
Mhm.
And uh, it's actually really nice too when that happens, because I'm just giving her the information and I'm helping her, and when that comes back like that, it just feels really good, to know
Mhm.
that I've helped somebody to open up. And I do want to just add too, I've also been doing massage for a long time, and even just my hands know, they just know where to go. It's just I
Mhm.
always know where to go and work on people. And
So is that part of your design? When you look at your chart, can you see like your natural intuitive ability where it lives in your chart?
um can I see? Yes, I actually have a combination. And so I I I'm mostly clairvoyant actually.
Mhm.
And the thing too that I've noticed is, because I have open head, ajna throat, and I do really feel like I pick up things that are going on with others. I've had experiences where I wasn't looking for it, and I brought in like mediumship, where somebody came through,
Mm.
and so I just feel like things like that come through for me. I had a friend once who came and got a healing session from me, and I picked up her grandmother, and she was just like, "Oh my god, I just was talking about my grandmother and how I want to be like her," and so and then also I even just the channeling that through the throat. So So, sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know how it's going to come through. And then it comes through. Like, I feel like it's just coming through right now, even as we speak.
Mhm.
So, and then I see things, like I'll get,
Mhm.
signs, just like, I just can get visual, um, I see like spirit guides, or I can get visuals of things, or even signs outside of myself, like when I'm connecting, and then I'll get a sign that's
Mhm.
like, oh my God, you know.
So it sounds like you were pretty connected to your intuition before you met human design. Has knowing your human design made you feel more aware or connected to your intuition or know better how it operates?
Yes, I actually believe so. I feel like human design is affirming.
Mhm.
It just affirms like who you are, and um, how you operate in the world. But I also believe it brings even more awareness, and it also, one of the things too for me is it also sees where you're conditioned and where you're still stuck,
Mhm. Mhm.
and and I mean, you helped me with the sales copy, and oh, I'm so grateful for that. And one of the things that you know I believe is that, we were conditioned to doubt our intuition, and
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
that's really what I want to focus on, is really helping people to see where they're conditioned. And I also believe that a lot of why the crazy things that are happening in the world is because I think we're getting really disconnected from source.
Mm,
And
mhm.
it's so for me, it's about really connecting people, because when they start connecting to their intuition, to their self, to self-love, they connect back to source, and then they're really guided, and then
Mhm.
that's like what's really important for me, in
Mhm.
all of this. So it's fun to connect with spirit and do fun things like learn tarot and stuff like that, or work with energy and the chakras, but it's also really important to to connect.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so
Totally.
yeah.
So you have a program coming up in February as we're speaking is 2021, moving into 2022. So tell us a little bit about your intuitive development program you've got coming up.
Sure. So I'm launching it in February. I'm not quite sure the date yet. But it's basically intuitive awakening and human design. So we're going to combine the human design and looking at the chart, but and really doing like learning about the different types,
Mhm.
strategy and authority, and then also the gates and the channels, just to kind of help them see where they're intuitively designed,
Mhm.
and also to work with uh, understanding how it comes through clairvoyantly, or through the clairs, which we've
Mhm.
talked about
Mhm.
already, and to really help them connect with their own source of guidance, inner guidance,
Mhm.
following their type, their strategy, authority, knowing how their intuitive strengths work,
Mhm.
building on those intuitive strengths, deconditioning, um, so much more, and then just really fun magical tools that I want to add in, to help with the training process,
So
like.
give me just a teaser. What might be one fun magical tool you're going to be teaching people how to use?
So, one thing I love to do is teach like energy profile readings.
Mm. Mhm.
It's really fun. You give them a picture of a person that they don't really know about,
Uh-huh.
and have them intuitively tune in, and then do the homework, and then later, discover, what the information that they got. That's one of the things, but also just using the tarot to kind of help open them up, or the pendulum, learning how to use the pendulum,
Mhm.
clearing the chakras, raising their vibration, uh, creating sacred space. I just love. I have, I'm. It's a work in process, but I know what I'm going to do, and so It's just kind of adding all these things in, and also, which I just love. You just totally opened me up to this, Karen, because I took your intuitive design, classes that you have. The quantum field. You just something about learning about the quantum field and connecting with that opened my mind up even more than just connecting with a spirit guide, but it's the possibilities and how there's so much out there that we can tap into. And so I'm adding that into the course.
It's the cosmic candy store.
Exactly. So anyway, yeah. And I'm also going to do a couple of free information sessions at the end of January also, so people can hop in and kind of see what it's about. And
perfect. So if
sign up.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to learn more or come to your free information sessions, what do they need to do? How can they connect with you?
So they can connect with me through my website, which would be www.pattyswiatly.com.
Spell that for us, because I know it's spelled a little bit differently than how it sounds.
Okay, it's Patty, but with a Y.
And if you're looking for this, we'll put this in the show notes too. So make sure you look at the show notes. So Patty, Patty,
S as in Sam, WIAT as in Tom, L as in Larry, Y as in yes. .com. They can also find me on Instagram. Oops. I just realized. I think it's Patty Sage or something like that. So,
perfect. We'll put it in the show notes. I'm always getting in trouble because I'm like, I don't know where I'm. Okay,
they just do it.
So totally. Just look at the show notes. Find Patty on Instagram. Yeah. Again, www.pattyswiatly, and Swiatly is SWIATLY.com. And you can go there, check out at the end of January the free information sessions that Patty's got coming up for you about how you can look at the relationship between your human design and your intuition, so that you can get a better grasp on how your intuition works, and you have a deeper sense of how you're hardwired, so you start to trust those intuitive impulses and you feel more confident and relaxed and trusting that you'll know what you need to know when you need to know it, and you won't let the fear of the unknown make you panic, and you'll be able to really tune in to those beautiful messages that we get all the time that let us know where we need to go, what we need to be doing. So thank you so much for joining us, Patty. I can't wait to see how you continue to evolve this process. And thank you all for joining us today. It's been an honor to have this conversation with you. And I'm looking forward to learning more about intuition and how intuition and human design play together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everybody, for listening.